This is just a slightly different video. You'll see what I mean in a moment. This video is going to be a little bit different from every video, well, not every video, but most videos I do. I'm not showing you me building a project, I'm showing the aftermath of the finished product after it's done. Because all the joinery and routing and whatever I did in this project, I've done many times on the channel, and you've seen many times throughout YouTube and any other video platform you've been watching for woodworking projects and woodworking videos channel. Anyhow, but it starts with a piece of wood. Well, let me back up a little bit. It starts with a request from a local church for a box that goes on their altar. The cross sits on it, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so that was the request. And I said, oh, sure, I can build that for you. But now it starts with a piece of wood. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I wanted to make it out of cherry. And I went down to my local supplier. We have a local supplier here in Maryland, Maryland Select Hardwoods in La Plata, Maryland. Dennis, really nice guy. I highly recommend him if you're in the area to get hardwoods. But this is what I'm talking about. I hope it shows up in the video very well. But this is a piece of cherry I found in a pile of skip planed boards, 4/4 that he had in stock. I've planed off the skippage to show you the grain. I'm calling this between a ribbon and a flame cherry, maybe or maybe not. But you'll notice the undulating grain and the twisting, a little bit of a twisting of the grain on the backside too. And here's the thing. When I went through the pile, and there was 2 piles of these boards all from the same tree. This thing. I went down 3 or 4 boards and I found this, at least those ones, I found this grain going through all of them. And I only wish I could have bought every single piece of wood. Now this was $5.50 a board foot. So I paid $55 for a length of that one board. And then brought it in the shop and did the project. But I would have loved to have been able to buy all of that wood and stick it in the wood storage I don't have, because I don't have any real wood storage in this house to store something like that. I mean, we're talking about boards 4/4 stacked this high in 2 piles. Couldn't. Beautiful piece of wood. And sometimes you get lucky. And when Dennis saw it, he said, well, you're using a little figure in that. Yeah, Dennis, a figure. He may have changed the price per board foot on that once he saw the actual figure it had. Anyhow, let's get on to this little project I made, and I'll go through some of the details and how I actually made it. This is the box. The outside dimension was requested to be 8 by 8 square box and 8 inches high with a top and a bottom. And this platform had to be the right size to hold a cross on top of it that had a round base, solid brass. And so let me go through the details and we'll do some close-ups of the wood. Let's bring the camera on down. First off, let me start where I finished, and that was the finish. And the finish, like I've done in some of my other projects, is 1 coat of amber shellac, and then in this case, 2 coats of wipe-on polyurethane satin all the way around, and 3 coats on the top, because it's going to have something on here. You can see how the grain showed up all the way around the box, and this follows around. It's this board, and this board were one. These were all in one piece at one point. The back of the box are miter joints, and I use biscuits, but not for strength, as you know. Biscuits for alignment, so it would line up very well. So the back of the box is miter joints. The front of the box is where a simple opening door is. Brass knob, 2 brass hinges, and a rare earth magnet up there to hold it open, and it's finished on the inside as well. Closes very nicely. These are called quatrefoils, and I made 3, 1 on each side and 1 in the front on the door, because the back is going to be against a wall, never going to be seen. Here's one of my prototypes. I made these on the CNC machine, and they came out very, very nice. The top of the quatrefoil here is 1/8 inch, and it's 1/8 inch for the edges all the way around. I'll show you a close-up in a moment. The top has that wonderful undulating grain, as you can see. Now a little bit closer to show you some more stuff. Well, there's not much more to show, but let's get a little bit closer. Again, look at this grain. Isn't that just beautiful? Now, a close-up of the quatrefoil. And this is a prototype. I'll break it to show you the cross-section of the quatrefoil. Can you see that in camera? I don't know if you can see that in camera. Anyway, there's the cross-section of the quatrefoil. And it had tabs inside and out on the CNC machine so it would hold together on the table. Again, it's finished on the inside. And again, you have this wonderful grain when you open it up. I don't know if anybody's going to see that. So that's it. This is a nice little box that made out of that wonderful piece of cherry. Now, we've got ideas for that piece of cherry, and that may be a video coming down the road. But so we'll end this video here, just so I could show you, a nice little project I did for somebody locally. But let me give you a hint of what's coming up. And I have boxes of stuff. So, little background. I've mentioned in my videos and on a couple of forums that my saw stop is old. This is going on 19 years I've had this saw. And it uses the CB version of the cartridge. Now, what does that mean? That's what they're calling a legacy cartridge now. It is clear-ish in color. It's not sold by the usual suspects anymore. Woodcraft, all those guys, because it's not really any margin left. They don't sell many of them. They're all being taken over by the new IC cartridge system, which is the blue one. This is the blue. This is the IC cartridge. And this kit here from SawStop will convert my saw from the CB version of cartridge to the IC version of cartridge and replace some other parts. I'm also going to replace the belt. There's been some talk on the forums about static electricity in the belt setting off the cartridge. Considering how this thing works, I find that hard to buy. And I've had the same belt in here for 19 years, thereabouts. But I got a new belt anyway because it's freaking old. So what I'm going to do is, I have to do, of course, uncork all of this. Push everything out of the way, take the tops off, take the router table off, put everything aside, open it up, and then start the work, and I have to clean it, which is great because I rarely get a chance to clean the inside of the saw. So I'll be doing that. I'm going to take everybody along with the adventure because I haven't found any they may be out there, but I haven't found any videos that really are comprehensive on how this conversion happens. And I'm sure some people with older saws are going to start looking at converting theirs. Now, this is a very expensive kit from SawStop. But I think the sale is still going on. They're selling it for 85% off. If they're not, I'm sorry. But I got this for a lot less money. I got it for 300 something bucks for all the parts. It involves a new arbor section, a new control box, and I think a new switch here. And all those parts have to be replaced. But as you can see, everything has to be pushed away from it. Router table has to come off, the two wings have to come off, and the table saw top have to come off. And I just have an empty box sitting here, an uncovered box where I'll put all this stuff in. So I don't know when that's going to happen. I'm hoping to get it started soon. I'm guessing it's going to be a multiple parts of video because it's not an easy thing to do and it's not going to be a one-day job. So until then, make great things out of wood, like pretty boxes out of pretty figured wood, and think about upgrading your old saw at some point because eventually those legacy cartridges are going to get very expensive. I think they're $119 now from SawStop. And this thing is like 99 bucks. Not a whole lot of difference, I know, but it is what it is, as they say. Anyway, until next time, until we start doing this job, see ya.